Super fights. What's up, boys? This might be the first time you fuckers have actually seen me, unless you saw that Conor vs. Floyd video. Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather?
Who's gonna win?
Yeah, no, who's better look? Who do you got for Conor vs. Floyd?
Yo, honestly, I can't really say anything about boxing, but I got McGregor. I literally dropped $700 on this bet.
Conor all the way.
What round?
1.
This video is going to be a little bit different than usual. It's going to be my predictions for UFC 217. As you can see, this is a pretty ghetto microphone setup I got here. This is actually my other YouTube channel where I do street interviews, pranks, lectures, stuff like that. So check that out. I put the link in the description. But yeah, this video is going to be my breakdown of the fights for UFC 217. So let's get started. First of all, here's the full card. It's stacked. Obviously, Michael Bisping versus GSP for the middleweight belts. Cody Garbrandt versus TJ Dillashaw. That's a crazy fight. Joanna Cheng fucking whatever Chuck versus Rose Namajunas fucking whatever Junes. Wonder Boy versus Jorge Masvidal, and Johnny Hendricks versus Paulo Borrachinha. So those are all sick fights. I'll start from the bottom of the main card and go up to the top of the main card. Save Bisping versus GSP for last. All right, so Johnny Hendricks versus Paulo Borrachinha. Man, honestly, Johnny Hendricks has looked like shit lately. Like fuck, buddy. Are you even trying anymore? I mean, I really want to root for him, but it looks like he's just showing up to get paid. He's lost like 3 of his last 4 fights. He's missed weight twice. I mean, it's not looking very good. It's actually crazy, though, because this is the most active he's been his whole career, because he's fought, I believe, 3 times already this year, which is crazy. He fights more than most of the other fighters in the UFC, but in these fights, he's just getting outworked. His wrestling seems to be slower. He's not as explosive as he used to be. He gasses a lot quicker, and he's really small for middleweight. He used to be huge at 170, and now he's tiny at 185. His reach is basically nil compared to most middleweight fighters, so he's too small for the division, and I think he's going to get fucked up. He's facing Paulo Borrachinha, who's an absolute monster. He's undefeated right now, and he just puts dudes away. He has 6 stand-up. He's got Muay Thai knees, kicks, elbows, punches. He's huge for the weight class. He looks like a superhero. He looks like Yoel Romero. And so far, nobody's been able to give him trouble. He's got really fast striking. He's tough. That last fight was a brawl, too. He can take a shot. And he's just way bigger than Johnny Hendricks. He's also younger, and he's trying to make a run at the title. So this fight is a write-off. It's going to be Paulo Borrachinha. I mean, I like Johnny Hendricks, but he's going to get murked. Okay, moving on. We got Wonder Boy versus Jorge Masvidal. This fight is fucking tough to call. I honestly have no idea. If I had to choose, I'd probably say Wonder Boy just because he's much more consistent. And Jorge Masvidal always seems to get into these really close fights and get outworked just a little bit and lose a split decision. He's done that. I think 3 of his losses in the UFC are by split decision. Sometimes he'll just take his foot off the gas, and in the later rounds he'll let the other guy outland him or land harder shots or control the octagon, and he loses very narrowly. So Wonder Boy is really good at that. He's really good at winning very narrowly. He's a point fighter. He works from the outside. He has great kicks, great reach. His punches are all right. He's really tough. This game, ground game, doesn't even fucking matter. It is not going to go to the ground at all unless somebody gets dropped. So Jorge Masvidal has fought Donald Cerrone in the past, who was also a Muay Thai striker that relied a lot on his kicks and keeping distance. And Jorge blew right through him, just totally murked him, was able to close the distance, land punches on him that nobody else could on Cerrone, and it almost exposed him to a certain extent. Because Donald Cerrone has good punches, but he's mostly a kicker. And Masvidal has way better 1-2s. He has way more of a traditional boxing advantage, and he's going to carry that advantage over when he faces Wonder Boy. Now, obviously, Wonder Boy could have been the champ. Very close fight against Tyron Woodley, and he's a kicker, but he's taken a long time off. Jorge Masvidal has been staying active. This fight could go either way. I mean, Wonder Boy is going to look to go in there, kick him, keep him away, And Masvidal's going to go in there looking to fucking brawl. He's going to try and close the distance, land his 1-2, and try and catch Wonderboy, catch him off his guard. He's going to be real aggressive. Assuming he doesn't just get kicked in the head right away, he could close the distance. He could tag Wonderboy and put him away. As we've seen, Wonderboy was dropped in both of his last fights against Tyron Woodley. Nearly finished in both. He's super tough, though. So is Masvidal. This fight, very close. I'm going to go with the upset Jorge Masvidal, though. For some reason, I feel like he might land an awkward right hand or something on Wonderboy. I mean, on paper, Wonderboy should win because his kick game is just going to keep Jorge 3 feet away the whole time, so he can't land anything. But for some reason, I think Masvidal is going to catch him. All right, next fight. Women's strawweight. So we'll skip that one because nobody fucking cares. All right, I'll give a quick breakdown of it. The demographic information for this channel, 94% of the viewers are male.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyways, Joanna, Jedrzejczyk, and fucking whatever, Liddell versus Rose Namajunas. So, Joanna, let's be honest, nobody's beating her anytime soon. She's too good. I mean, Joanna is basically the Mighty Mouse of women's MMA. She has great ground game, great striking, great chin, great cardio. Her power's okay, but nobody really hits hard at that division. Rose Namajunas is like a really hard worker. She's more like the Uriah Faber of the division. She's still pretty young. I mean, she has a really good ground game. She has really good transitions in between positions, so that's where she usually catches most of her subs. But her striking's not extremely impressive or powerful. I don't think Joanna's going to have to worry about a counter right hand or anything like that. Realistically speaking, Joanna should be able to keep her at bay at the distance, just outland the fuck out of her with strikes. I mean, her kick game is unreal. Her elbows are crisp. Her knees are great. Her punches are deadly. She throws 12-punch combos. Rose is tough, but not tough enough. I see Joanna putting on a classic 5-round Joanna decision. If this fight finishes, thank God, because it's going to be pretty technical, and a lot of people are going to find it boring. Either way, I really like both their fighting styles, but I think Joanna's just going to win. It's not really much of a fight. Next fight, we got bantamweight fucking title. Finally, this fight was supposed to happen months ago. Honestly, it took way too long, and I'm really excited it's finally happening. So, Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw, coached the Ultimate Fighter, used to train together. Cody Garbrandt knocked out TJ Dillashaw in training, allegedly. And basically, there's been a lot of shit talk over the last few months over whether or not one guy got the better of the other guy in training, or I knocked out you, and I beat you in sparring, and I made you cry. Doesn't matter. It's finally getting put to bed. Cody Garbrandt's been, I mean, I like the guy. His fighting style is great. But, man, he looked like a dick on The Ultimate Fighter. He was really pushing this narrative that TJ Dillashaw is like a traitor and all that. Just seemed real childish, in my opinion. TJ kept it pretty classy, but then again, he did switch camps, and there's a lot of drama with this fight. But as far as the actual skills go, Cody's wrestling's fucking dope. His takedown defense, his takedown offense. I mean, this is going to be a stand-up fight. I don't see TJ being able to take Cody down. And they're both strikers mainly anyway, so that's okay. Cody's striking, very fast. His defensive boxing is extremely impressive. That's one of the key takeaways in this fight. They both have really good defensive striking. Great head movement. You never really know what they're going to do. Cody Garbrandt was showboating like a fucking G against Dominic Cruz. And Cruz wasn't really able to hit him at all. And Cruz is really good at hitting people. So TJ Dillashaw is going to have his work cut out for him. However, Cody Garbrandt on the feet is quite one-dimensional. He's basically a boxer. He doesn't have a lot of flashy kicks or elbows or knees. He mostly just throws traditional boxing. He's got the power advantage for sure. Definitely has a power advantage. So he's going to be looking for the knockout. He's probably going to be headhunting. And TJ Dillashaw is going to fight this fight a lot more technically because he's got the kicks, the knees, the elbows, and the punches. Plus, his clinch game is really nasty, too. He's been working on that a lot. And he throws lots of combos, whereas Cody Garbrandt is more of a headhunter. So I see TJ Dillashaw definitely throwing a lot more volume in this fight. and trying to outwork Cody Garbrandt on the scorecards because he doesn't really want to get into the pocket and trade with him since Cody Garbrandt would potentially be able to knock him out with one punch. I don't think TJ can knock out Garbrandt with one punch. However, the way TJ fights, he always throws combos. So it's going to be like the third or fourth punch, maybe not even a hard shot, but it's going to be the one that Cody doesn't see that's going to catch him. And it will lead to the finish if he lands a pretty nasty combo on him. This fight's going to be really fun, though, because of all the trash talk. We don't know how each guy is going to react to the pressure of this fight. I mean, Cody looked awesome under pressure against Dominic Cruz. And at the same time, so did TJ. I mean, both the fights with Dominic Cruz were razor thin. Honestly, this division is just a triangle of three guys that are just anybody can win on any given night. This fight, I'd give the slight edge to TJ Dillashaw, in my opinion. He has way more tools to win this fight. Garbrandt's got the wrestling that'll keep it on the feet, and he's got a lot more power and better boxing. But everything else is pretty much even, and then TJ Dillashaw has way more tools and weapons in his stand-up game, and they're both really tough. They both have cardio. So this fight's going to be real interesting, honestly. If they come in here fighting emotionally, Cody Garbrandt comes in hot-headed, pissed, wants to make a point. He could get caught and flustered, and TJ could basically just, make him fight his fight and just counter him all night. And it could go 5 rounds and be boring. Or they could both just start fucking trading in the middle. If they both just jump into the middle of the octagon and start exchanging, I got Garbrandt all day. I think he's just going to be able to land the harder shots on TJ if it turns into a brawling fight. Realistically, though, this should be a sick striking battle. It's going to be tough. It's going to be knees, kicks, elbows, and punches versus just punches and greasy head movement. For some reason, I'm feeling Dillashaw in this fight. I think he has more tools. I think people are sleeping on him. It's going to be really close, though. Another thing to consider, though, if the fight is extremely close, they'll give it to the current champ. They won't give it to Dillashaw if it's like a draw. They'll always give it to the champ. And I feel like this fight's going to be so close that if it is a fight that's a split decision or a majority decision, they'll give it to Cody. I'm hoping for a knockout, though. I'm rooting for TJ, but honestly, this fight's really evenly contested, and it could go either way. All right, the main event that has been rescheduled like 3 fucking times, and it's finally happening. GSP, George St. Pierre versus Michael Bisping. Honestly, I don't really miss GSP. He wasn't the most entertaining fighter, but at the same time, people forget how fucking good he was. He was so dominant. He always fought the perfect game plan. Every fight, great wrestling, great striking, great jiu-jitsu, great cardio, and his natural athletic speed and explosiveness and his ability to transition from the striking to the ground seamlessly. Nobody could ever get his timing. He had such good fucking timing that he'd make you think he's going to strike, and then you'd be on your back right away. And he's so strong on the ground, too. His top control was insane. So GSP, once again, arguably the greatest of all time, definitely the greatest 170-pounder. And he's making his return after 4 years, which apparently he's been training for. He's been training for 4 fucking years, like, doing the gymnastics in his garage and shit. He looks yoked, though. However, Michael fucking Bisping, one of the toughest guys in the UFC. This guy literally lost to every single top 5 contender he could for years at middleweight. And then finally got a title shot on 2 weeks' notice and dusted Luke Rockhold. And now he's the champ. Michael Bisping's a gangster. Anyways, Michael Bisping, obviously he's a weight class higher. He's way bigger. He's taller. He's going to have the reach and size advantage. Cardio is going to be pretty even, I'd say. I think it's going to be in Bisping's favor because using his weight, George is going to have to work a little bit harder since he's naturally smaller and he's packing on muscle for this fight. Another thing to consider, they're both about the same age, mid to late 30s, not in their physical prime. GSP, extreme ring rust. We haven't seen him fight for 4 fucking years. So he's been training, yeah, but when's the last time he was hit in the face? I don't even know if he spars at Faraz Sahabi's. He's training with Freddie Roach for this fight too, but it's going to be really tough to see how he reacts to being back in the octagon. I mean, GSP is known to not like being hit, And Bisping is known to just be tough as fuck and just like he'll get hit and he'll just keep coming. He's like a zombie. And I feel like Bisping's going to try and run out in the first round and just start teeing off on GSP. Like not let him get comfortable at all, just be real aggressive, start hitting him from the jump, try and get GSP to panic. Bisping's got great striking, obviously, great cardio. His ground game's good. I don't think his takedown defense is good enough to prevent George's takedowns. Not so much the technique, but George's timing. It's going to be timing. Bisping's not the best at scrambling. He's good at stopping takedowns, but I think GSP is going to be able to take him down if he wants to. And that's going to be huge. The question is, can GSP take him down as much as he wants to for the whole fight? I feel like the first 2 rounds, GSP will take him down, no problem. But then there's going to be a little bit of resistance. And then the last couple rounds, Bisping's going to stop the takedowns. And then GSP's fucked. If GSP can't take him down and Bisping's stuffing him over and over again, GSP's toast. Bisping gets stronger as the fight goes on. And even though GSP has really good cardio, once again, 4 years off. So GSP is also not much of a volume puncher. Bisping throws crazy combinations, especially in the later rounds. He's a real volume striker. He's really good at using kicks to keep him on the outside. First round's going to be a lot of kicks thrown. I don't think GSP's going to want to exchange early. Bisping's going to try and put pressure on him, back him up against the cage, land some punches. But, you know, it's going to be a pretty stagnant round at first. Bisping cannot be hurt by GSP, I don't think. I think GSP could throw the fucking dopest Superman punch ever, but it's still not going to be able to knock out Bisping cold. Might drop him. If he drops him, that would be crazy, but I don't see it happening. So my actual prediction for the fight, this is tough, you know, because Bisping gets a lot of shit from people because everybody says, oh, like he's so beatable, he's the most beatable champ. Everybody constantly calls him out, and even he said that the only reason GSP picked this fight is because he thinks that Bisping's the most easiest fight. So Bisping, I think he's a gamer. His best bet of winning would be decision because that's how he usually wins. He outworks them in volume. He makes up for what he lacks in athleticism and power with tenacity, cardio, and volume. Another thing, though, Bisping could literally just go out and knock GSP the fuck out. We've seen fighters move up to weight classes where they had no business in, and they just get dusted right away. Great example would be Fabio Maldonado versus Stipe Miocic, which is a brutal beatdown. Now, obviously, that's at a higher weight class, but GSP is fighting a lot bigger than he normally does. So that 185 power is going to translate down to George's 170-pound head. Bisping's definitely going to hit a little bit harder than usual because GSP is not used to getting hit by 185ers. He's more so used to getting hit by 170-pounders. I know that sounds dumb, but it's true. Striking-wise, GSP's got pretty good boxing. He's working with Freddie Roach for this camp. I don't know what that's going to do. All he throws is jabs and Superman punches anyway. He has a good straight right, but, you know. However, I feel, personally, that GSP is too smart of a guy to come back and not have something up his sleeve. I think he must have been training for like the last 4 years, and he's got every single part of Bisping's game worked out and prepared for. He's going to come in with the masterclass game plan. He's going to execute takedowns whenever he wants to. He's going to hold Bisping down. And on the feet, he's going to land an even amount of strikes and then maybe a couple more jabs so that he can arguably win by points at the end of each round. Once again, though, I'm really curious about GSP's cardio in the later rounds. I don't think GSP can finish Bisping. Bisping is extremely hard to finish. You have to be a real power puncher to do it. He hasn't been submitted in a long time, and the only time he was submitted really is when he's rocked. And I just don't see GSP hurting him, man. But Bisping does get dropped a lot in his fights, so at the same time, GSP could just, you know, throw like a Randy Couture punch. You know, remember when Randy Couture hit Tim Sylvia with a fucking right hand out of nowhere? Nobody saw it coming, and he dropped him. And then the rest of the fight, he just kind of like controlled him on the ground and beat him up. GSP is definitely capable of doing that. However, it's pretty unlikely. Realistically, this fight's going to decision, I think. GSP's cardio will probably hold up. I mean, he seems like a smart enough guy to realize that He's got to be really fucking careful in this fight because this is a dangerous, dangerous matchup, especially after such a long layoff against a killer like Bisping. All the trash talk over the last couple of weeks, too, has actually gotten me and my buddies really excited to see how this one plays out. Everybody here in Canada, shout out to Canada, fucking loves GSP, and we all want to see him do well. But Bisping is awesome, too. So if either of these guys wins, I'm pretty stoked. I just want to see a good fight. Gun to the head. I'll predict the whole main card now. It's called the gun to the head picks. So if a gun was to my head and I had to choose every fight, and if I don't pick the right winners, I die, I'd probably be dead by now. But just for the sake of the gun to the head game. Middleweight, Johnny Hendricks versus Paulo Borrachinha. Paulo Borrachinha, first round TKO. Fucking Johnny might even quit on the stool in between rounds. Who knows? Wonderboy versus Masvidal. I got Masvidal by decision. Sneaky decision by Masvidal. Joanna Jing fucking whatever versus Rose Namajunas. I got Joanna by 5-round unanimous decision. Maybe Rose lands like one fucking kick or something, but it's going to be a one-sided beatdown. Garbrandt versus Dillashaw. This one's tough. Fuck, I got TJ Dillashaw. I think he's going to win. It's going to be real close. I'm hoping it's like a 3rd or 4th round TKO. What he did against... What's that weird-looking Brazilian guy's name? Fuck. Renan Barão. What he did against Renan Barão was wild. Like that 15, 18 strike combo, that was sick. If he can hurt Cody and land like some blitz like that, that would be the most epic way to finish the fight and get the belt back. Gun to the head, I got TJ Dillashaw by decision, but I'm hoping for like a 3rd or 4th round TKO. Maybe 5th, because Cody's cardio is really good. Main event, Bisping versus GSP. I'm picking GSP. I feel like, everybody's writing him out. Bisping, it might even be just Bisping talking so much shit about how easy it's going to be that makes me want GSP to win. But I think GSP is like hiding something. He's got this little secret up his French fucking alien witchcraft brain of his, and he's going to execute the perfect game plan. Everybody's going to be shocked. GSP, new middleweight champ. Michael Bisping, fucking not going to fight Yoel Romero, that's for sure. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video and these predictions. Be sure to post your predictions in the comments below. I'd be real curious to see who you guys are picking to win. And, comment what round you think the fight's going to end. Submission, knockout, decision. Go fuck yourself. Comment below what round you think it's going to end. What it's going to be, a punch, kick, elbow, flying knee, who knows. GSP might go in for his classic jab and double leg takedown. Bisping drops his hands, and then GSP flying knee out of nowhere. Flying knee KO first round. Unlikely, but it could happen. Comment below what videos you want to see. We'll do our best to make them. And be sure to check out my other channel too, Life of Jack. I do like street interviews and pranks, lectures, podcasts, reaction videos. Stupid stuff, but you guys will probably like it because you like this channel. And frankly, it's a bunch of really stupid shit. So in conclusion, those are the picks. We're nearly at 60,000 subscribers now, which is crazy because we only started the channel, I think, like April or May. And the videos have just been doing really well. So, big shout out to all the subscribers, everybody that's been liking the videos, commenting, even the people that just post like funny, unrelated jokes and shit in the comments. I love it. I love trolls. I encourage you to write the funniest comments that you think apply to the video, no matter how inappropriate they are. Also, let me know what videos